Hello everyone. Very good afternoon all. In this section, we will learn about the data science workflow. So, workflow of the data science is also very important. Discussing the data science workflow is very important in data science subject. As we know that the role of the data scientist is very interesting one. You may have a doubt why it is very interesting means as we have been seeing from right from the start, data scientist means solving a lot of problems and finding different solutions for the problem. He is not only solving the problems of the virtual ones, but also he solves the practical problems of the real time application. That's why data scientist is an interesting one because he used to solve real-time problems, and also at the same time it is also a challenging one also because it is very complicated and by solving in order to solve a real-time problems it will take a lot of time. You need to put a lot of effort, and also you must have a lot of skills. It means either as a team or an individual, they should have a good combination of skills. Without having those skills, they cannot create any problem or they cannot solve any problem. Any problem. That's why it's a challenging one. In order to overcome the challenges, they must have proper set of combinations. As a team members or as an individual one, everyone must have a good skills. Then only they can able to solve any problem in data sciences. That's why it is an interesting one. But also, they should have right tools also because if they want to implement anything or if they want to make their structure in a concise manner or if they want to um, get the data and if they want to prepare the data in a good manner, they have to they need to have good tools in order to implement the project or in order to implement any idea, they need to have good right tools regarding any subject like Python like that. So in this section, we will discuss about the how the data science process is. So likewise, the data science process is an iterative process. Iterative process means it is continuously like a loop. It is continuously work, working like a fan. So it never stops. It always iteratively moves on. It moves on. So here we can see it is better to frame the problem as an iterative process where better solution is reached on iteration or various steps in the data science workflow. There are some steps that are involved in the data science workflow. So if you know those various steps and if you follow those various steps, you can easily tackle the data science problems and you can easily able to identify the problem and you can easily able to create the problem. So let us see what are the various steps that are present in the data science workflow. First, question identification. So you need to identify the question. Next one, data acquisition. Data acquisition means data collecting. Next one, data mungling. Next one, model construction. It means how you will construct the model by the given data. Next one, representation. So how you will represent the data, in which format you will represent the data, in what way you will represent the data. That is the step. Next one, interaction. So interaction also very important step in data science process. So let us see each and everything. So here coming to the each one question identification. Question identification. After that, data acquisition. So here you can see data acquisition is data collection, data capture from external resources, internal resources. Those type of things will come under acquisition. Next, data munging. Data munging means you are merging the data or parsing the data or formatting the data or filtering or transferring. These things comes under the data modeling. Next, modeling. For modeling, what you will use in data science project means you will be using machine learning algorithms, probability, and statistics. By using those things, you will model the data. Next, represent representing. How you will represent the data. So by doing visualization and graph design, you will represent the data. So visualization means you are representing the data in the form of bar charts, graphs, and plot bars like that. Next one, interacting. How a data science student will interact through dashboard, through scorecard, through interactive report. Like that, this comes under interacting. Next, so among those various steps, let us discuss first about the identify. First one, identify the question. So, if you need to identify the question, you need to have a clear and concise idea. So, without having any clear question, you cannot, there is no insight. So, as well as having a way to measure the success or failure of the answer obtained after your favorite machine learning algorithms. So, it is not a matter of getting a dataset and simplifying, massaging, and creating some plots. So, let us discuss identifying the question step first. So there is no such a thing as insight without a clear and concise question, as well as having a way to measure the success or failure of the answer obtained after running your favorite machine learning algorithms. It means that without identifying question, it means if you are not able to identify the question and if you have run your favorite machine learning algorithms on such a particular data, after the results and after measuring the success or failure, there is no use. It means uh, without identifying the question, how can we measure the result whether it is a success or failure? You need to have a clear question. It means you need to understand the question and you need to get clarity on that. And after that, you need to go with the further steps. And there is no insight also. Next one. Another next one is breaking down the problem into smaller question is useful. So whatever the problem that is given to you, you need to break down each and every part because continuously reading the problem is you cannot get an idea what the project is and how to implement it. So in order to implement the project and in order to understand the question, you need to break down the problem into different questions. It means smaller questions. By dividing those into smaller questions, you can able to understand the problem and you can able to get an idea with each and individual point, and those will be very useful while identifying the problem and while identifying the question and solving it. So here you can see. At every iteration, there may be more or smaller or larger follow-up questions that will also require answers. So for every iteration, you may be having some more or smaller or larger follow-up questions. Sometimes you will be having large questions. Sometimes you will be having small questions. Sometimes you will be having more and more questions. So in order to tackle and in order to identify the problem, we need to break down into the small problem. So whenever you break the problem into different questions, at that time you can easily able to understand the question and you can easily able to identify the question and you can easily able to understand the concept and you will get the reality of solving the problem. That is the thing. Next one, acquiring the data. So in order to collect the data, you need to identify some sources. There are some sources available on the internet. So you need to identify right sources of the suitable and useful data. So whatever the question that is available, after tackling the question and after understanding the question, you need to get the suitable data and useful data for the given problem. So in order to get those things, you need to identify right sources. So by identifying the right sources, whether we can able to get the useful and suitable data. By using that suitable data and useful data, we can able to get the awareness on that. So next one, if the answer once we have a problem to tackle, the first thing that needs to is figuring out if you are an organization with the appropriate data that may be used to answer the question. So after tackling, once you tackle the problem, you need to think that whether your organization is having proper data to answer that question or not. So you need to check that. So once we have the proper data and once we have the uh, proper data, appropriate data, you need to check whether we can able to answer the question by using these resources or not. And also, if the answer is no, we will need to find appropriate sources for suitable data externally. So if you cannot answer the question by using those resources, then you need to find again right sources for that. After finding the right sources only, you can able to answer the questions and you can able to identify the problem and solve the problem. Next one, even in the case where the data is available internally, the data may be in locations that are hard to access due to technology. So sometimes if you have the data internally also, even if you have the data internally also, sometimes it will cause the problem to access the data because there will be a lot of technologies that are involved in that. Because of that, we cannot able to access the data easily. It is very hard to access it. That's one. Next one, data mungling. So if there is no insight without a question, then there is no data without data mungling. So without a question, if you don't have any insights also, then there is no data without data mungling. If you don't have any data mungling, there is no data also. So if you want to be data, you should have data mungling. So mungling or wrangling data is actually the most time consuming task in the data science workflow. So this is the most time consuming task in the data science workflow. Next one. According to the nearest, this is not important. Let's go to the next para. Data preparation is key to the extraction of valuable insights and although some prefer to concentrate only on the much more fun modeling part. The fact that you get to know your data fits inside while modeling it implies that any new or follow-up questions can probably be attended with less effort. So, uh, not only data mining, data preparation is also very important while you are extracting some useful information from that. So, yeah, extraction of useful information. So, after extraction of useful information, you need to prepare the data. There we can able to see how well the data is prepared. That is also important. Data preparation is very important in data science. Some people will concentrate only on modeling part only. They will not prefer data preparation. They will much more actively on modeling part. Next one. Next, modeling and evaluation. So in this, we need whatever the model that you are prepared with your data, you need to evaluate it because you need to measure the accuracy, precision, and recall score of the modeling. So how you will model, how you will model your data? It means by using various machine learning algorithms like supervised learning algorithms or unsupervised learning algorithms, you will model your data. And also, uh, sometimes the best data depends on the type of data you have. The best algorithm depends on the type of data you have. So if you have a best data, you will get best algorithms. So please wait comes from you. Likewise, if you have the best data, you will be having best algorithms. So it means uh, it means what can I say about this? Always the best results will depend on the data, whether if your data is good or not. So if your data is good, you will be having good algorithm. If your data is not so good, you will not have any good algorithm. And also not only it also depends on the data, it also its completeness. It means whether the data is completed or not. If your data contains completeness, then you can have better algorithm. If it is incomplete, you don't have best algorithm. And also it also depends on the question you decided to tackle. Not only on the data, not only on its completeness, but also it also depends on the question that what you want to tackle. It means based on the question also there will be having some best algorithms. So overall, the best algorithm is depends on three things. First one is the type of data you have. Next one is its completeness, and third one is type of question that you want to that you decided to tackle. So these three things are very important for having the best algorithms. So once model has been run through the so-called training data set, next thing is evaluate how effective and accurate the model is. It means after preparing the data, we will give some training by using some various machine learning algorithms. So after training some data, after giving training to the data set, after that what you will do is you will evaluate the data set. It means you will test the data set, and after that, first one we will evaluate the data set. It means how effective and accurate the model is against the testing data set. So you will be using some algorithms in machine learning. By using those algorithms, you will evaluate the model and you will come to know how effective the model is and how accurate the model is. So that's why machine learning algorithms are very important to measure how effective and accurate the model of the problem, and also decide if the model is suitable for deployment. By measuring the accuracy and the precision of the data set, we can be able to decide whether this model is suitable for deployment or not. If the is suitable, then we will go with that. Otherwise, we will go with another data. Next one, representation. It means representation and interaction. So representation means you are representing the data. How you will represent the data? By what format you will represent the data? Which algorithms will you use to represent the data? It means you will use data visualization for representing the data in the form of pie chart or plot bar or graph. So in order to represent your data in the form of mm, in the form of the data. So data visualization is more of an art than a science. So data visualization is like an art than a science. It is more art because we are representing the data in the form of bar charts, pie charts, and plot bars. So by representing the data by providing visualization to the data, it means you are representing the data in the form of pie charts, bar plots, and other graphs also. And also it is very simple to analyze that data. That's why data visualization is very important task in the machine learning algorithms. Whenever you represent the data in the form of data visualization, it is very simple to analyze, it is very simple to answer, and it is very simple to get the idea of a visualized model. And also it is very important step. And also by representing that, you can able to use whether it is accurate, simple, and provides clarification to the other people by communicating in the form of bar charts. Likewise, if you represent the data and if you interact likewise, it will it means you are showing your accurate and its simpleness and clarification of the data to other people. Next one, Next, data science and iterative process. So the machine learning model has been run on a clean data does not mean that work of the data scientist is done and dusted. So after running your machine learning model on the clean data, it doesn't mean that the work is over and no need to work it on. It means after applying algorithms and after applying machine learning on the data set, it means you will think it is over and we need to do it. It is the final stage result. But the work is not over. That is the main problem. And also, after applying machine learning model also, what you need to do is you need to identify the effectiveness of the model. You need to carefully monitor it because if the model is effective, then it can be very useful. It means the model should be monitored. It means we need to test the effectiveness of the model. After applying machine learning model, you need to observe its effectiveness and also and the outcome depends on the data that is fed to you. It means whatever the outcome that we are expecting, the overall outcome overall it depends on the data whatever that we give. And also a simple case of garbage in garbage. So what garbage in garbage out is a simple case. So any new data with a variety of new features may degrade the accuracy of the initial model. So if you have any new data with a new variety features, it will degrade your accuracy of the initial model. It means sometimes it will improve your model, sometimes it will decrease the model. So whenever you apply variety of new features and you apply new data, you need to adjust some parameters. Whatever the parameters that you are passing, you need to adjust those parameters or you need to acquire some new data. Next step is think of this process as an upward spiral. You need to think this process as an upward spiral. Next one. So this is the next one. Furthermore, if there was such a thing as an ever-changing model, the fact is that even follow-up questions arise naturally from the data science process. This means that the workflow is better to be treated as a force failure, where constant iterations provide improvement and increase. It means whatever the workflow that we have seen right now, that is very better to be, treat as an force failure because we are we are constantly doing iteration. Means we are constantly updating the data, we are constantly removing the unnecessary data, and constantly improving the data. By improving like that, it will provide improvement and new insight on the data. So you need to think of this process as an upward spiral. So this is the data science. This is the topic that I wish to discuss with you. I think everyone have understood this, and also everyone have clarity on the topic what I have done. So this is the most important thing in the data science also. So you need to focus on this also. So this is the workflow of the data science. So this is very important. As a data science engineer, you need to focus on this topic also. So right now this topic has been completed. So uh, um, in the upcoming video, we will be going into the new subjects which are required for the data science. So I would like to start with Python or some other subjects. Let us see. I will update to you. So most probably I will start with Python only. So don't worry. So really, if you like my video, please subscribe and comment, say dear in the comment section. So thank you.